So, where have I been? Honestly, it's a fair question, but it's been a whole lot. I have to think about where I want to start with this. But basically, a few days ago, I don't remember the exact date, um, I was on Windows 11. I'm not a fan of that. I don't like it. Nobody likes Windows 11. There's a certain amount of annoyance that I'm willing to put up with. And up until recently, Windows 11 has just been that. Only annoying. But the thing is I haven't updated my Windows 11 in a very, very long time. I'm talking before the RAM price hikes of like last year. Long time. And that's been because every single time a update goes through, it's made people's computers run worse, it's put people's hardware in danger, and stuff like that. I can't afford replacement hardware, so I have to be very, very careful with my machine. And people have walked me through different steps to keep Windows from updating automatically because it will absolutely do that if you let it. And for a long time, that was working. Try my best not to say too many times. Deleting folders out of System32, which is absolutely normally not advised, but to be completely honest, I trust the people I know on Discord and strangers on the internet more than I trust Microsoft, and that's just the unfortunate reality that we find ourselves in. Fast forward to February, a couple of days ago, like I said, when Windows, I guess they changed the way that they do things or check for updates or whatever, because automatic updates and checks had been stopped. But I guess at some point in time, the folder that I deleted was automatically re-added or something, and what ended up happening is it was opening up Microsoft Edge. I don't use Edge for anything. It's not my default browser. It's never been my default browser. Edge opens up something about an update, and it causes an error box to appear on my screen. I don't remember what the error message was, but it said something about opening a page to support, and it opened up another Edge window, an entire window in Microsoft Edge. So now there's two Edge, an error, and then there's another error box, and then another Edge, and then it rotates, and it's like spamming the error message, like a virus. A literal virus. Now, I'm not a rookie. I've been using computers long enough, I've been on the internet long enough to know not to panic in these situations. I simply get up, I turn the power to my computer off, and then I turn it back on. Windows 11 can force an update through on your system turning on. So Windows 11 put me in a situation where my fans, I could hear my fans from my CPU spinning up, my RAM usage is going up, and there's nothing that I can do to stop the windows and the errors that were popping up, except for to turn off my computer. Only for Windows 11 to begin immediately updating my computer. That is the exact moment that it elevated from being annoying to being downright hostile. And that's not something that I can tolerate. Being annoying and being a threat, a combatant, fighting me, are two separate things. One of which I can tolerate, the other I have no tolerance for. Now, obviously, there's nothing that I can do as my computer is starting back up and it's installing this new update. Nothing that I can do. But the entire time, I'm raging out. I am so unbelievably furious. The antagonistic behavior of this, for whatever reason, I felt like that one guy. I'm doing important things.
single day. Automatically, your PC needs to restart to finish installing important updates every single day. And every single day, I click later. You know why I click later? Because there's no option to click never. I like to click never. I never want to install these bullshit, meaningless, superfluous. I hate them! I hate these stupid updates! Look at this shit! Every day this comes up! And you know what happens after you click later a few times? When a few days goes by and you keep clicking later and later because you don't want to fucking do it, you just want to put it off. This automatic bullshit that interrupts your work and makes you turn off your fucking computer and you click later every day. Eventually, it takes away the option to even click later and it just says, these are your only options. It's basically putting a knife to your head and saying you can either fucking... You can either wait 11 minutes and we'll shut it off for you, or you can just, bite the bullet and shut it off now. It doesn't even give you a choice to say no. It just comes up whenever it wants automatically and says, fuck you, we're turning off your computer no matter what you're doing in 10 minutes and 47 seconds. Look at this shit. I am fucking rendering something, you cocksucker. I'm doing important shit. Why do you need to...
But I decided that, you know what, turning off my computer now is only going to make things worse. I let Windows 11 install its stupid update, but the entire time I'm like, today is the day I'm going back to Windows 10. I don't care. I don't care what I have to do. I'm going back to Windows 10. So, I was under the impression that I would need to format my boot drive in order to do that. Thankfully, that wasn't the case. Long story short, there were a lot of things that I thought I would have to do, but don't have to do. And there are a lot of things that I didn't think that I have to do, that I do. So, I reinstalled Windows 10. 11 is off my computer. I've managed to keep all of my files, which is great news. But unfortunately, there are none of my settings saved. Settings for my sounds, my OBS, completely wiped out. All of my scenes, all of my plugins, all of my drivers, all of that stuff needs to be installed. The only thing that I was able to keep were the files themselves. So there was a little bit of some inconvenience along that. It hasn't been that bad, but it has been, sure, and getting those settings right is paramount to my ability to continue working, especially when it comes to audio. I've tried to describe the complicated nature of my audio setup, but I cannot stress to you enough how even, installing these things in the right order is the difference between me being able to hear and not. Opening these programs in the right order is the difference between me being able to hear and me not. Speakers, headphones, all that stuff will not function if I get even a single step in this nonsensical process run. I don't know how it ended up this way, but it's this way, and nobody's been able to help me fix it. I can't fix it, so this is the one method that I've found to consistently get my sound setup to work, and I don't like touching it. So me having to redo the entire process from scratch has been a process, and one that I'm still not 100% sure I got it right. I also had a lot of accounts to log back into. It's been a mess. To make matters even worse, the internet has been in a state of pure concentrated stupidity. I mean, when it comes to people and their beliefs and all of that stuff, I've pretty much come to expect nothing but the worst. But in the last month or so, it's been particularly mind-numbingly stupid. And in order to protect my sanity, I've had to do some things. Anyway, video games have been rough. It's fun to play Star Citizen with Dez and Demented, and there are a bunch of other games that I'd like to play, but none of them are new. So every time friends are mentioning new games, or like I'll suggest the second game of a series and they immediately jump and want to play the fifth game, and it's like, guys, obviously the fifth game is the worst because it's new. Do I need to explain to you why? Anyway, it's been stuff like that. It's been a lot of that. Motion tracker. I placed an order for some, canceled that order because the day after I placed the order, they got a new version of the same thing that's supposed to be better. Woosah. Need lots of woosah in here. Not enough woosah.
Thank you.
Woosah! Woosah! Alright, positive.
That being said, I'm going to get back on the horse, so to speak. I've recently found some interesting YouTube channels that have been very inspirational, both in ideas and the methods that which I make my own videos. I want to try some new things. I have no idea how that's going to work because I'm not familiar with any of the tools that they use to do what they do. And I don't want to take one-to-one what they do. We'll see. But I'm still determined to put a positive spin on everything. So that's where I've been. That's where I've been. As always, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for the support. I appreciate all of you. I will see you all in another video.